do and for you as a group. You know, I have been in many agencies. I'd say I've been privileged to be probably at the agencies where in each place you could say the best people in government work here, whether it's OMB, the State Department, the Treasury Department. So I've had an extraordinary ability to work with career public servants and lawyers in very different settings, and have a deep appreciation for how important both the memory that you bring, the knowledge of what's been done in the past, how things have worked, how they haven't worked, but also the just sheer dedication to getting it right. That it's about getting to the right result, and that there are often close calls, and the close calls do require policy decisions to be made. But getting to the point where you know if it's a close call is not an easy process. And if it's not a close call, the law gives pretty clear guidance on what to do. And the work that you do in the General Counsel's office is critical. So I work daily with Chris and Priya and Roberto. I don't see all of you every day. I see actually more of you on a regular basis than I would have thought. I'm not sure what that means. But you think of the scope of issues that you've worked on. I tried to make a list of what it is that I'm aware of in the work that all of you have done. The debt limit. How many hours of legal analysis did we have to put in on the debt limit, where the fact that you've been through it for decades gave us the ability to navigate perilous terrain where, not to exaggerate, the U.S. and the global economy were at stake. We just completed the Volcker Rule, a complicated piece of business, something that couldn't have happened if the lawyers here hadn't done their work so effectively, both in terms of the technical detail, but also in terms of driving the process forward. The tax treatment of same-sex couples. The Supreme Court ruled. It was obvious to me that we ought to do something quickly, because that's the right thing to do with the Supreme Court rules, and implementing it is something that you think is actually important. It didn't occur to me as we were doing it that it was going to be the biggest, most important step that the federal government was going to be taking in implementing policy after the Supreme Court ruled. Getting it right was critically important. Coming out of the financial crisis, the litigation that continues to come through, it requires ongoing attention. And I can go on to CFIUS, where each determination has to be done right, and the ones that are hard take an enormous amount of work. And coordinating amongst the agencies, particularly with our friends in the national security world, is not an easy thing. Iran sanctions, working on implementing the Affordable Care Act, the daily ethics issues that come up to make sure we just do things right. I probably have only scratched the surface of the things that I'm aware of that everybody here is working on. What I can say to you as you go into what is a much-deserved recognition of people's good work is thank you. Thank you personally in terms of what you do to make it possible for us to make sound policy decisions based on sound legal grounds. And thank you for your dedication to public service. We don't always get the kind of thank yous from the press and the public that public service deserves. But I know from the fact that many of you have been here for careers that you're proud of, and many of you who could have gone anywhere in the country to practice law chose to come here, that the importance of what we do is not lost on anyone here. And the quality of the work that you do reflects what I think is the most important thing, which is getting it right at a standard of excellence that is second to none. So thank you, congratulations, and I look forward to working with all of you on next year's list. Thank you.
So it's the end of the year, and the end of the year is a time for reflection, looking back and forward. On one day, it always likes to make my New Year's resolution list. And this is a special time for me because this is the first year that I've been a full year leading the legal division, partly as acting and then confirmed since April. And so just a couple of reflections as we end this year. backwards, I feel so fortunate to work with all of you here. You know, there's many words to describe you and who you are and what you do. You're so smart, you're creative, you're great lawyers. But the one thing that just always inspires me and is very notable to me is just how dedicated you are. I mean, so dedicated. Dedicated to getting it right, dedicated to the department, dedicated to all the important issues that we deal with here at Treasury. And that manifests itself in lots of ways. That's the long hours, the late nights, that's the unreasonable deadlines that come from clients and sadly sometimes from me. But it's the dedication that you show day in and day out, the care that you show to your job, which makes me very proud to be your colleague and literally inspires me. So I really want to thank you for that, what you do every day. And then looking forward, thinking about the 2014 year, one thing you know about me, and I probably say it at every one of these events where I stand up at the podium, but one thing that's very important to me personally is just always wanting to be better. And that's a goal that I hold for myself, hoping the next year I'll be more effective and better at my job and hopefully wiser, sort of overall the longer arc of life. But that's also true for our legal division. Like one thing that I have a goal for our legal division is that next year, we're a better place next year than we are now. But I need your help for that. I need your help, I need your ideas, I need your thoughts, because I can't do it myself, the three of us can't do it. But together, I know we have lots of great ideas to make us a better place this year than last year. And, you know, ending a challenging time in some ways, because for a long time, at least in the front office, we were people down, right? George left, so it was just me and Chris, and that was a period where it was just me and Preeti, the two of us kind of holding down the fort. But, you know, now, fully staffed up, we have more bandwidth to be thinking about all the ways that we can make the legal division a better place, and that's something that's very important to me. So one thing I need your help on is thinking about those ways to make us better in 2014. And one tool for that is the Employee Viewpoint Survey. That's something that goes out to all of you, where you vote, you think about it, you see the results for ODC or for your bureaus, you send your various bureaus. One thing I want all your ministers to do is to be talking to you about specific concrete ideas to make us a better place in 2014. And so I really need your help. I need the help of your teams to do that. And just to be a little bit more targeted, I mean, one thing that we've seen over the last 4 years as a place where there is room for improvement relates to training. And that's something that I've seen in every one of our EBS scores over the last years. We don't have unlimited resources. We have very limited resources, so we have to be creative within those bounds. But I really do want your help in thinking through in general what we can do to be better, but also on that specific area, because it's an area where I know we can improve, and I want your help in doing that. But really, at the end of the day, I want you to love your job, and I want you to come to work every day excited. And if that's not happening, I want to be working to be better so that we can do that. So before I turn it off to the rest of the program, turn it over to Priya and Roberto, I just want to say you may not have met everyone in the front office, the new front office, but I really am very proud to say that I've created an incredible dream team of talent and lawyers in the front office. So as I said, when Chris moved over to be chief of staff, it was me and Preeti fighting off the world, and we did that for a while. Then adding Laura Hildner, who's next to Preeti in the second row, Lori Richardson, and Hannah Stott-Bumstead. Lori, my second senior advisor, and Laura and Hannah working on various oversight issues. And then completing the dream team is Priya and Roberto here on the stage. It is an incredible group of people, so much talent, so much experience. But also just great people, great colleagues. It's been such a privilege to work with the front office, but I hope you have a chance to work with them over time, because it's really just a great team. And they'll be working with me on the goals of 2014, especially finding ways that we can improve and be better. So with that, I turn it over to Roberto and Priya for the rest of the program.
Hello, I'm Roberto Gonzalez, one of Chris's deputies. I started a few months ago. I'm very honored to kick off the awards portion of the ceremony. The first award is Legal Research and Writing, and we're very pleased this has been in OFAC for 6 years, and he's regarded as one of the finest legal writers at Treasury. This year, he took on a challenging task of writing a memo to persuade the Department of Justice, including the Assistant Attorney General for the Civil Division, to seek a court order enforcing a novel requirement that the target of an OFAC administrative subpoena be prohibited from disclosing the fact of the subpoena. If there were disclosure, it could tip off the target of the investigation and they could evade sanctions. So, although the legal theories weren't tested, Will wrote a persuasive memo that managed to persuade DOJ to go forward with this theory, and the district court ultimately adopted those theories as persuasive. I could say more, but it's probably classified. For his important work on this issue, and for all his other work, I'd like to present Will the Legal Research and Writing Award. Let me grab it.
Very much. You're on. Maybe.
Hi, I'm Priya, for those of you who I haven't met, and I'm very pleased to present our second Legal Research and Writing Award to Daniel Rosen. Daniel has worked in the IRS Chief Counsel's Office for 15 years and has served as a special trial attorney for the past 7 years. And he serves as lead counsel in the Eaton case, which is one of the most significant cases that the IRS currently has in litigation. It involves novel, unprecedented legal issues, and Daniel's extraordinary research and writing skills have been critical to the court's adoption of our arguments in many respects. So for his outstanding efforts in litigating Eaton and other cases that have resulted in significant wins for the government, and for the exemplary research and writing that has been essential to those victories, I'm very pleased to present Daniel Rosen with the second Legal Research